Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're going to revisit Greasefang. Greasefang has been such a good deck in the Explorer metagame, and I have been revealed a new card that I for some reason just forgotten about, and for some reason everybody else has forgotten about. Everyone and their mother is running Raffine's Informant in their 2-drop instead of this way better card, Professor of Symbology. This card is so good because it does the conniving thing already, right? It doesn't give any pumps. That's the small downside. But instead of having a conniving trigger, which is draw a card, discard a card, Professor of Symbology allows us to choose between doing that, the draw a card, discard a card, or get a card from our sideboard that is a lesson. So we'll talk about the lessons a little bit later. Let's talk about the whole deck list now. It is a lot more fine-tuned. So in the 1-drop category, we have 4 Satyr Supplier to drop a black, or to drop 3 cards for 1 black mana, mill 3 cards for 1 black mana, and also when he dies, mill another 3. Very good. And then we have the Thoughtseize, definitely useful to fight our counterspell opponents so that we take the cards out of their hands. Any control opponent, honestly. And then we have 2 Deathrite Shaman. Just 2. I don't have 4 this time. 2 can give us the mana we need because we mill a lot, right? So we're going to have lands in our graveyard to get extra mana, but we can also use it to deal damage or gain life against other kind of decks. Should that be necessary? Probably not. Then in a 2-drop, of course, 4 Professor of Symbology, 4 Satyr Wayfinder to mill 4 cards and get a land into our hand. We have 4 Can't Stay Away to bring back our Greasefang, and 4 Grisly Salvage to mill 5 cards and put a land or a creature into our hand. Could be a land, could be Greasefang. More importantly, this is an instant speed, so we can actually play it at the end of our opponent's turn so that they don't really see we have all the combos coming, and then stick the combo the turn after. Then we have 1 Witherbloom Command. Now every deck that I've noticed online has 4 of this in their deck. I don't have 4, I only have 1, so I didn't go craft these 4, and I also don't think 4 is necessary. Maybe 2 if you want to cut a Grisly Salvage or cut a Satyr. Probably not a Grisly Salvage, you need that. You can cut a Satyr, right? You can kind of have these 2, the Satyr and the Satyr, I don't know what it's called, and the Witherbloom Command. Those should add up to 5. You can have 4-1, 3-2, 2-3, and any of those categories will probably work. And then of course the combo. So we have 4 Greasefang. We need to get this out as soon as possible because it brings back our vehicles from the graveyard. Then the vehicles that we're going to bring back: 3 Esika's Chariot for little cats, 2 Skysovereign to deal damage to our opponent, especially if they're Planeswalkers. Skysovereign, when it attacks, can also deal damage to Planeswalker. What the great part about Skysovereign with Greasefang is that if you bring Skysovereign back with Greasefang, it does 3 damage. Because as haste, you can crew it with Greasefang, and it will attack to deal 3 more damage, and then also it does damage by a 6 damage attack. So Skysovereign is real good. You want 2 of those, but it's legendary, so not more than 2. And then we want 4 Parhelion. Even though it's legendary, this you gotta have 4 in the deck. This is the finisher of the deck. Once you Greasefang out a Parhelion, it crews 4. You crew it with the Greasefang, and now it's a 5/5, flying first strike vigilance, but also when it attacks, you get 2/4/4. That's a 13 damage attack on turn 3. If you curve out correctly, this is very scary, and this is why the Greasefang deck is top tier in Explorer metagame. Now let's talk about the lands. The land base is going to be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to have one plain, 1 swamp, 1 forest, 1 Boseiju, 1 Takenuma. So 5 monocolor lands, 3 basic, and 2 channel lands. You definitely need the Takenuma to mill and also get Greasefang back. You definitely need Boseiju in case your opponent has some form of a enchantment or artifact that you need to break, or even a basic, non-basic land that you need to break. And then let's talk about the other dual color lands, because these are not necessarily the best combo. It's just the best that I have. So I have 2 bright, black, white pathway, 2 Cave of Koilos, 1 Godless Shrine. If I could have it my way, I would have 4 Godless Shrines, and then maybe 1 bright climb pathway. That's probably the better version of this, but I don't have this, so I didn't want to go craft Godless Shrine. And then the black green lands. Let me scroll over a little bit more. The black green lands, we also have 5, right? 2 pathway, 2 land warways, and then 1 overgrown tomb. Same way, I will probably run 4 overgrown tomb and 1 darkboard pathway if I had that, but I don't. I only have 1, so that's why this is the case. And then in the green whites, we have 3 Razorverge Thicket, 1 Temple Garden, and 1 Branchloft Pathway. So the only change I will make to this is add a Temple Garden and cut the pathway if I have it. which I don't. Now, in addition to all of this, I would say if the fast lands ever gets released, I think they get released in the Thunder in My Junction, I would probably cut the Cave of Koilos and a Landwar Waste for those fast lands. The same as the Razorverge Thicket, right? I have Razorverge Thicket here, which are fast lands. They can come into play early, untapped. And that's what you want, because you want this deck to be able to play off early and untapped. Alright, and then let's look at the sideboard. The lessons that we want to have mainly is the environmental science is going to be very important to fetch for a basic land for the color that we're missing. Since we are a 3-color land, that sometimes it happens. The rest are just, you know, fillers, since we can have lessons. We can have reduce the memory, exile a permanent, necrotic fume to exile a creature. Exile a creature or planeswalker. We have basic conjuring to look for the top 6 cards and try to get a Greasefang. We can have containment breach to break an artifact or enchantment. We can have confront the past to destroy a planeswalker if we need to. And then the main thing that I think will be useful, other than environmental science, is the Academic Probation. This card is actually pretty good against some control decks, because what you can do is name their counter spell, and what are they going to do? Counter the Academic Probation. If they can't, their counter spell can be played this turn. If they counter the Academic Probation, that taps them out a little bit more. You can slam your Greasefang that way. Right, that's how I feel this whole lesson board will work. But more times than not, you're not actually going to use the lesson board, right? The Professor of Symbology is just going to be for the Conive trigger. Draw a card, discard. Actually, it's not a Conive, it's a loot trigger. Since it doesn't get pumped, that's fine. The damage is dealt by Greasefang and Parhelion anyway. So that's really how I feel about this deck. Now let's go into the games. Okay, our next opponent is going to be the Guidos. The Guidos? Too hard to pronounce. Alright, we've got things to play. So I'm gonna... Not the best, but workable, depending on what they do. They mulligan? Alright. One less card for my opponent. They are some form of black. I'm gonna draw some cards. Wow. That was a Parhelion, just thrown into the graveyard already. Pretty scary for my opponent. Guess we will attack first. Play a Professor. I don't know if I can name a counterspell. Oh, a Soaring Skysovereign. Okay. That's the case. I could name Drown in the Lock here. Academic Probation with Drawn in the Lock? I think so. Or I can just pitch my Skysovereign. Now, does that get anything from pitching Skysovereign? I don't think so. Let's do it this way. Eventually I can, on 4 mana, I can Academic Probation, and then can stay away. Milling cards against a Greasefang. Definitely not a good idea. So, do they have a counter unless you pay 1? Do I need to find out? I feel like I don't need to find out, right? I just need a black mana, and I will be able to play the Greasefang. Black mana. I will be able to play a Greasefang. He can counter it. Was it Drown in the Lock? Make disappear. Okay, I did not expect that. I thought he's gonna have Drown in the Lock. With the Soaring Thought Thief, that seems to be what they run in that deck. So I need another white. I need 2 whites for this to happen. And I have 8 cards in the graveyard, so his Drown in the Lock definitely will work a lot better. Do I just name Make Disappear? Do I have 2? Does he have 2 Make Disappear in his hand? Choose a non-land permanent. It can attack. Choose a non-land card. Is he gonna let me do that? There's no reason to counter this spell. Okay, unless he has 2 Drown in the Lock, right? That's what I'm expecting. Does he have a Drown in the Lock? He might. The next turn I can flash back, I can't stay away. Yeah, 2 drowned in the lock. Okay. He's down to 1 card, 2 cards left in his hand. And I still have a can't stay away that he keeps milling for me. Oh, well. Huh. Does he have more counter spells? Does he just top deck? Probably a kill spell though, to be honest. I'm gonna get back my Parhelion. He should kill. Sure, why not? I can't fly. He should kill the Greasefang and not... Okay. That is not how math works. GG. Thieves can't do math, apparently. Alright, our opponent's going to be Zus. This guy's kind of Zus. Kind of very Zus. One goes first. We got 2 Greasefang and a Stitcher Supplier and a Can't Stay Away and a Symbology. Alright, I'm gonna... That is not what I clicked on. The mouse double clicked. Ugh. Okay, fine. This will Symbology it. They're gonna counter my environmental science. I doubt it. Neutralize? Alright. Neutralize main deck. There's a cycling deck? That's really kind of sus. Go for the attack first. Alright, let's see if they counter the environmental science. He might think that I need the land, so he might counter it. That would be funny. Go Magneto! Oh man. Oh, no! Oh, those are the 3 best cards I needed in the deck. Oh man, that really sucks. Maybe not 3, 2 of the best cards I needed. I don't need any more green. I got a lot of green already. Grisly Salvage and Can't Stay Away. They're definitely cards that I want to have. I don't even have anything in the graveyard, so I think I'm gonna Can't Stay Away the Symbology. I don't need to do that at instant speed. I can play a Greasefang and force him to remove it. How important would that be? You can counter it, but then he won't be able to play anything this turn. And next turn I'll pretty much do the same thing. I need a 5 mana for something to happen. Just because I have 2 Greasefang doesn't mean I want to throw 1 away, right? I do want my Citrus Supplier to be gone. That way I get to mill more. 5 mana. You're gonna counter a Grisly Salvage. It does not. So I can get another Stitcher Supplier, I can get a land. I need 5 lands next turn to do all the things I want to do, right? Well, I'll get 5 lands anyways. 2 white, 2 I need 2 white and 2 black. See what kind of counter spells we have. No counter spells, probably just a removal then. March. Can I play this? I can play this. I don't have a Greasefang to play it on, but I can play it. So, none of these do much, right? Let's see. Choose not a Planeswalker card, no. Choose a non-land. Choose a card name. Opponent can't cast the chosen spell next turn. And what What do they have? They have so many different kind of counter spells. View browser. I don't think any of these are going to be that good. Maybe we just pitch the Parhelion or the Skysovereign. I mean, we're just chipping them away. He might feel like he's safe because he took out the Greasefang. He might be safe because I don't really have much in the ways to play. Alright, so I can play another Greasefang, and it will just get countered or destroyed. And then I won't have much else to do. Maybe I can stay away. Gotta lull him into a false sense of security here. Esika's Chariot. Let's go in for the attack. Play the Razorverse Ticket. It comes up with a tap. Psycho is farmland. Is it a Psycho deck? I'm so confused. There's so many Psycho cards. Are they good? Are Psycho cards good? Is that what's going on here? I already have 6 damage on board. It's kind of funny how little life he has left. But I don't know how much of that will matter. Temporary lockdown. That's my whole board here. Alright, so I can definitely get rid of the temporary lockdown. Or I can play the Greasefang. It's kind of tricky which one I should do, right? I'm going to play a land for sure, and I want to play the Greasefang. There doesn't seem to be a stick. Alright. Good game. No stick. Got through. Alright, our opponent's going to beat the Med MTG. We get to go first with 1 land. I don't think I can keep a 1-lander, so let's go again. 2 lands, nothing to cast Greasefang with, but definitely 2 lands. So we will keep, and we will put back a card. Maybe a Satyr. Actually, it's gonna be pretty bad. Can't cast anything. So the Satyr might be important. Let's put back the Chariot. We have a lot of creatures in the deck, or I would say a lot of vehicles in the deck, so might be able to get somewhere anyways. So. Let's see here. Let's get rid of the removal. Grisly Salvage. I'm gonna leave. Let's play it out for 1 more turn, right? Underdog, of course. Alright, this is good and bad, because if I just salvage something, it will probably get exiled by the Trespasser. So I'm going to play the Greasefang out here, and hope that he didn't draw removal. Let's see if they did. Grand, that's not a removal. Another Knight. Just the underdog attacking, no blocks. Alright, let's... yeah, these are the tap I must make. Top 5 cards. What are we gonna get? Take a green. I need it right now. And none of those cards are useful. Thank you, Shuffler. Satyr. Gonna get a land card. No lands. But we did get a Parhelion. GG, I guess. That is just... bad play plus luck means win. Alright, our next opponent is the Menegini 1999. Yo, that is a name. We got Softies into Stitcher Supplier. Not a lot of ramp, but just Thoughtseize is enough disruption. So let's keep going first is nice. Let's seize your thoughts first. What are you playing here? Liliana takes 1,000 turns to play. Fatal Push takes 1,000 turn to play. I think he might just Fatal Push my Stitcher Supplier, right? So let's take out the scary cards. I think the Emperor is scarier. Parhelion. Definitely didn't want to draw that. So let's see what we can put in the graveyard here. A Parhelion. We'll put a Land War Waste. It's not very useful right now, but I can't stay away a Professor. They have blue, which is interesting. Alright, so this mills 3 cards and then destroy a non-land permanent. I don't know if I want to do that when I can't stay away. Maybe they have a counterspell? There was a stick, but I don't know if that stick mattered. Alright, we're gonna learn by taking a environmental science, probably. None of these other cards are that useful, so we'll take a science. Tiny attacks. They're going to go to 3 lands here, which is going to happen. I mean, are they going to have Fatal Push something? Doesn't seem like it, and I can't really do anything with any of these cards, so maybe with Environmental Science. I do want to... Well, I don't know why I kept my white mana open. No, let's tap this, and we'll get a green mana. Play it. I can choose this, but I guess we can wait, right? Destroy target permanent. -3, target opponent lose 2 life and gain 2 life. None of that is very useful. It's just a mill that's workable. So we'll go for the attack first, see if they Ganjo. I doubt they will, or use Fatal Push. Yeah, I doubt they will do any of that, so let's mill 3 cards. And then target opponent loses 2 life and I gain 2 life. If they play Shieldred next turn and we can stay away a Greasefang, that's game. But I doubt they would do that. That's not a very smart play. But if they don't do that, I can't land anything. Well, if they play Shieldred and I don't draw a Greasefang, I'm kind of out. Not out, but not in a good situation anymore. So, yeah, there is that. I can definitely Professor and, you know, draw a card. But I want to stick the Chariot, right? So I'm going to stick the Chariot first. Or actually, drawing a card here helps a lot. I need to keep my white. Oh no, I don't have double white. So even if I draw a Greasefang, I won't be able to play. Alright, so Can't Stay Away and the Professor of Symbology all takes... Oh, Spider Queen. This is good whenever a creature heals.
I will show you what happens when the spiders... Aren't I the generous one?
Not a Greasefang. If this card would die, exile it instead. So I don't want it to die right now. What can I actually do? I want to play the Skysovereign, right? I don't want to play this, right? I can have all 3 attack the low deck. Copy a token as a blocker. Maybe necessary. Shieldred blocks. It's a lot of blocks. I'm happy about all of those blocks.
I will cull the weak.
I get a Greasefang. Skysovereign out the Shieldred.
A gift
The low
in exchange for loyalty.
It's on 4, which is annoying. But the Skysovereign is live, and he sees I have a Greasefang in the graveyard. That's gotta scare him a little bit. I have a Can't Stay Away, which is just already on board combo. So, what do you want to do, opponent? Populate? Not sure if that's necessarily the best play here.
Aren't I generous?
Now, if I draw a white mana, right, it would be all the difference. I don't draw a white mana, but I could Can't Stay Away and also play something else, like a Grisly Salvage. Is the Grisly Salvage going to help me? I don't want to get got by a Spell Pierce. He definitely has one card open, and that could be a Fatal Push. He can't, actually, yeah, he can't not Fatal Push a Greasefang. It seems like it's a Spell Pierce. Alright, so this needs to attack for it to do anything. I don't want it to attack because I want the Parhelion out. Crew. Are these reach? These are reach. But I get 3 attackers. Let's see. I can attack him, or I can attack the low. Oh, I already declared attackers, so crewing that right now wouldn't matter. Sack 2 creatures. Okay, so he's just trading like this. Kill like Greasefang.
At least there is blood on your hands.
This is first strike? I didn't even know it was first strike. Yeah, kill the Greasefang. I'm not sure if that was an issue. Alright, so then I can Grisly Salvage. Grisly Salvage. I need a white mana, which I don't get. Huh, that's unfortunate. So let's get a Takaduma. That can help me mill a little bit more. Parhelion goes back to my hand. I still have the Skysovereign, and I still have a 4/4 Angel. This is... I mean, this game has been taking longer than I thought it would, but
my army will envelop
Professor of
this
Symbology will
world.
definitely get me.
From battle
you do?
to the grave.
Alright, so what I want to do here is Professor, draw and discard. I don't have a Greasefang to bring back. So definitely Professor, draw and discard. Now I get a Greasefang, but I don't have white anymore. So then we will play the Satyr. Now I have a white. Alright, it's a lot of stuff. So I want to crew. And then when this attacks, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. So we'll attack. Deal 3 damage to Liliana.
Fine, I'll leave.
And then we will play white man. End turn. This is reveal? It is reveal. He knows I have a Takaduma, but he doesn't know that I have a Greasefang in my hand. Quick study. Maybe he's trying to get a Deluge. I don't know what deck this is. What a weird deck. I'll draw. And then we GG. This can bring back a Parhelion, and that would be game. I probably didn't play that optimally, but you know, eventually we got through it by drawing Greasefang. Okay, our opponent is going to be Notion. Is he a thief? Is he a thief? Alright, we no longer get to go first. That was our biggest advantage, and now it's gone. Let's see what they are. Yorion. Okay. with us not going first, I might not Thoughtseize first. Yes, I might not Thoughtseize first. I think I'm gonna... Do I need more white or more green? Oh, well, I mean, this is the only black mana I have. Maybe we just pitch a Parhelion and the game already over. Esika's Chariot, okay. Not a Parhelion, but is something we can work with. Foretell. Uh-oh. Alright, if he foretells a card, I can't actually do anything to it. So if it's a counter spell, I'm kind of just screwed. A Thoughtseize can get me a card that I need, or a card out of his hand. Let's see what he actually has. Teferi, alright, okay. Let's take care of that. Maybe he wants just card draw, and that's why he did that. Let me think about it. Jeez. Opponent is so rushy. Alright, well, he has 2 mana open and pretty obviously a counterspell. So I don't know if I want to just throw out my Greasefang into that counterspell like that. But you only live once. Did they top that counterspell? Saw it coming. I mean, to be fair, I also saw it coming. But it's gonna be there forever, and there's no way we can get around that. We get a Parhelion. So, I want to play this first. See if it gets countered, and then we'll play our Grisly Salvage. Either way, I want to toss down to the safety. Let's go to my hand, discard a card, draw a card, and then we will... Grisly. That's an instant. I didn't need to do that at instant speed. Will Deathrite Shaman work? Or Symbology work? Deathrite Shaman definitely doesn't do much against that deck, right? We can slowly grind him out. Alright, let's see if he taps out this turn. I don't think so. I mean, even with 5 mana, he probably just played Teferi and untapped 2 land. Lotus Field deck. Taps a green. Doesn't tap a green. Sacrifices 2 land. Now he has 2 mana open. That's interesting. With 2 mana open, what can he do? Guess we will have to find out. Is that another counter spell? Get lost, maybe? Let's bring in the Parhelion. I mean, this already does get a pretty big board, right? But Parhelion just kind of wins. Maybe he wants to kill my Parhelion. I'm not sure. Does he have something that I'm not seeing? Prevent all comp. Whoa, okay. Fog meta. Wet fart. What the? I don't know why the Parhelion was a wet fart sound and every other thing was a thug. But it's a big board. I mean, you could probably like farewell or something. Memory Deluge, yeah, okay. You got 1 land open. Maybe you have some untapped lands. With 1 green, what can they do with 1 green? Or 1 white? Probably another fog. Our opponent's just gonna keep fogging us. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt. That's interesting. Alright, so... guess we'll try to get bigger. Let's bring back Esika's Chariot. Okay, just GG. I don't know why he was still in the game. I got 1 cat. Sure, why not? Welcome back, everyone. Now that you've seen the games, you probably very much like this deck. Probably, I don't know. If you feel like this deck is annoying, it definitely is. It's very, very strong. In fact, all the games I played today, there's a few that I had pretty bad draws and I really wanted to give up. I didn't, and it was so explosive that it just came back and won anyways. This deck is just a monstrous beast. I don't know how to stop it other than just directly graveyard hate. But even with directly graveyard hate in that one game, you saw that if we just stick Greasefang and our opponent really can't stop it that turn, we can just on our next turn toss something into the graveyard, toss a equipment, or I should say a vehicle into the graveyard, and Greasefang will just bring it back anyways. So even with graveyard hate, there's ways to play around that. Now, if our opponent strictly graveyard hate, they can probably fight against our deck if it's directly teched against us. The problem with that is that deck won't be very good in the metagame, and people don't like to play it that way. So yeah, this deck, again, just like the last time I played it, it's a monstrous beast. It can't be stopped. Thassi stops all the things that tries to counter it, and then the Greasefang, once it sticks, it just blows out our opponent. That's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.